But actually, we haven't recorded in a while.
Yeah. What do I talk about, man?
I don't know. You want to talk about current events? I can do that.
Well, let's talk about running. You have some sick running shorts.
I do. So good deal on them. Anybody who has an Amex Platinum, if you registration's up, probably closed by now, but if you register, it was $50 credit if you spend $50 or more. So $68 shorts. I would never spend that. You know that.
Yeah,
but
those are nice.
$18 shorts.
People aren't going to watch this, but yeah, whatever. Why'd you buy lime green?
Because sometimes I run on the road in Vaughan.
Oh.
There's some of the streets don't have sidewalks, so like I run on the road. At least these are a little bit more noticeable.
Yeah, I thought because you were basic. I wanted just the neon like everyone else has.
No, I don't. Plus, I also
I've actually
don't
never
have,
seen that color.
Yeah, I don't have
Lululemon.
these. I wanted to do something really bright. It was either this or orange.
Also, I just noticed you have Liz Gosling bracelets.
Yeah, they sent it to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Sent me
you
a
bought them.
couple.
I was like, I can't expect you to buy those things.
No. I actually really like it though. So I DM'd them. My mom wanted a couple, so I DM'd them. I'm like, you guys want to do a collab? And like a month later, they responded like, yeah, we'll send you some for you and your mom. So they sent me these two, and then my mom's got the gold with the hearts and then the gold happy faces. I actually love them.
Are they like unisex?
Well, they have men's and women's. It's mainly the main difference is the size. I think the men's are a little bit bigger, and then men's have like black ones as well, and the girls have gold and a rose gold. They're massive.
Pretty
Those
stylish, man. You're actually quite stylish today. You don't look like a dad.
If you saw me
90%
earlier,
of the time,
I had my
you're
shirt
like
tucked in earlier today. My golf shirt tucked in.
Oh, I look all right, man.
Speaking of dads, John's gonna be a dad soon.
Oh, are we talking about that?
Yeah, we can. It's open. Yeah. It's
Oh,
public.
okay. Yeah.
John's gonna be a dad soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an
Big,
uncle.
Uncle Rick.
Fuck, wild.
They know what it is. They don't know yet.
No, they don't. They were gonna do a gender reveal party, but I don't think they're doing it now just because like there's like so much happening.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I saw like the whatever you call those little photos, ultrasounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a boy for sure. It's a boy. And then I'm like, I don't know why I said for sure it's a boy. I have no idea what the difference. And like, at that, like, it's a little peanut right now, right? Or
I feel like your brother's gonna have. I feel like knowing your brother and Virgie, I would guess boy.
I think the first one will be a boy, then second or third or however many they have.
It's 50-50. Actually, it's not 50-50. It's actually like 60-40 chance of girl or boy.
Really?
Yeah, more. We should have Danielle here. Statistically speaking, I think there is a higher birth rate of women, females to males. I think these days. We can probably look it up right now.
Not 60-40 though.
I think it's like 60%. Let me look it up while we're discussing this.
That's actually wild.
I'm pretty sure that it's changed a lot, and I think it's because I don't know why. We guess something like lower sperm counts these days in men compared to like a few years ago, but
Why sperm count has to do with men or women?
I don't know. That's a guess. Let me retract that to like from that birth rates of female to male.
That'd be a good one for Danielle. Thanks for
yeah.
skipping this episode, Danielle. Appreciate that one.
The odds you give birth to a boy or girl depend on where in the world. I'm just looking this up right now. It's actually, so I could be wrong. Most countries, there are around 105 males to 100 female births. Wait.
That's still 5%.
North American.
It's a 5% difference. That's actually pretty.
That's pretty spot on. Yeah. It's actually. Yeah. It's actually not. Yeah.
Slightly under 5.
North American birth rate by. Is it sex or gender? This is a sticky topic here. Sex or gender. I guess. I don't know. So I apologize to anybody. I actually don't know. Total births. Okay. Wait. No, that's fertility rate. That's not going to help me. Anyways, we're not gonna find this right
let's
now.
move on because this would be a tricky one. We'll be googling for a while.
Anyways, I could be. I guess it looks like I'm wrong, but I think my sister told me or someone told me that there's more female babies born compared to male babies these days, and I thought it was like 6 to 4 or 60-40. I thought
that'd be a lot. I'd be shocked if that's accurate.
If anyone is listening this early on and has not fallen asleep yet.
This would be going from Vishal to like thing. Vishal will check this, or John probably will. John's probably read all these books about it already.
I was supposed to see your brother next week. We're gonna go golfing.
Are you guys golfing?
No, I have to cancel though because I went with some work stuff. But I gotta get together with him here about his trip too because he was in Bali.
So shockingly, he said he didn't love it like he was expecting.
Yeah, he said that to me.
Yeah.
He said I'll fill you when I see you, but he said that he didn't. He had a bad experience.
Have
at the
you been
airport.
there?
Bali, yeah.
Did you go Gilly Tea or
no? Just Bali, just Seminyak.
Seminyak?
Yeah.
That's where like the W is and like the beach parties and stuff.
Yes.
How'd you like it?
So I liked it a lot. Like I like what it's. I like how it like feels and like all this stuff. Like it feels very tropical, bohemian, whatever, very chill. Like I liked it better than I think like Thailand, but I also again only did Bangkok. But it felt more relaxed. And your dollar goes pretty far there, similar I guess to Thailand. But I was only there for like 7 days. I was supposed to spend a month there, and then it got cut short when I flew to like the UK. So because I was there so short, I was supposed to do originally Seminyak, Seminyak, Kuta, and there's another one. It'll come to me, but it's like more the backpacker area, younger area, and the Gili Islands and Ubud. And I didn't do any of them. I just did Seminyak because I was like, 7 days. I'm moving around. I don't want to pack up and move and move. So I just stayed in the Seminyak.
You stayed in a hostel or?
I stayed in a hostel for a few days, and then I was like,
my man splurged. I got a $50 night villa.
I ended up staying in the W for a couple nights.
Oh, not even a villa. My man really went in.
Well, no. So what I did was I stayed. So I was in a hostel for the first 2 nights. I think it was a pretty nice hostel. It felt like a villa almost, like very like tropical. Had a little small pool. But because I knew it was gonna be rush, I really wanted to relax. It was like just a chaotic bit of travel. I went and stayed. I rented a place on, I think it was like booking.com, and it was like a hotel, but it was like you had a private room, private little villa, and like your own pool for like, I don't know, $50 a night. It's not $40-$50 a night. Really nice. I did 2 days, I think, in that place, and then I did my last 2 nights at the W. W there's crazy.
I heard it's sick.
The rooms, like, they're just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
they're
like,
just cool.
They're big. Like the washrooms are like giant, like all stone. The shower is as tall as this room. Like, it's crazy. And the pool's sick. You're on the beach, and it's the W, so it's cool. Yeah, that was a good time.
And the nice part about that is you can get like villas and like actually like sick hotels for dirt cheap.
Oh yeah,
like you can actually like one hotel was probably like a normal hotel in that part of the world's like $20. It's like basic air conditioned. That's it. Or you could stay somewhere really nice for like $50-$60.
Yeah, because you also like, there's chain hotels there. Like Marriott has a lot of hotels. But there's also like those like private ones, same as like Thailand, right? It's actually like the exact same as Thailand.
Would you like better? Sorry, I never asked you.
Well, I only did Bangkok. I never did the islands. I did Bangkok and Chiang Mai in Thailand. I never did the islands. So I would assume it's the same. Your brother can probably speak to it more because he's done both. You haven't done Bali. I think Bali would be very cool to go with a few people and like rent like a villa or something. Because I looked on Airbnb. Villas are like, you can get like a villa that sleeps like 6 people. Like 3-4 bedroom place, really nice private pool and everything for
$300 a night,
something like that.
Yeah,
$300 to $500 a night.
We're spending like $2,000 a night in Mykonos.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. And the thing is, they look just as nice, if not nicer, and they're massive. And it's crazy. Problem is, you fly like to get there is 15 hours, something like that.
I think more than that. No.
Well, you'd fly either to like you'd fly to Taipei, you'd fly to Japan, China, Singapore, like that side of the world, and that flight alone is from Toronto. It's probably like 13 hours. So you're right. It's probably like 18.
Yeah, I did mine. I flew to Finland. When I went to Bangkok, I flew to Finland, which was
that's so random.
7, and what
airline did you fly with?
I can't remember. And then from Finland to Bangkok was I think 11.
That's a weird way to go.
Do you know, it was so weird, but the coolest part was I get to knock Finland off my countries.
Did you go out of the airport? I
left the airport.
Oh, smart.
Left the airport specifically just to count it.
Wait, how long did you get to the airport? You just walked out?
Yeah, literally, because it was 2 flights, but I had separate tickets.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one of the ones where it's one.
Yeah.
So I literally got out, and I just had my bag with me, so it was easy. Got out, literally just kind of like walked around a little bit, just wanted to like see what it looked like. And then I got back in, I did it. Then on my way home, I flew around the other side of the world. So I flew from, again, Bangkok to... somewhere in China, and then China direct. But I went like the other way. I literally traveled around.
That flight was how, like what, 14 hours, 13 hours?
It was a big one. I can't remember, but it was like that was the longest flight I've ever been on my entire life.
I kind of want to go back to that side of the world. I was talking to Becca about it, and I asked her if she would want to do it because I really want to go back to Japan.
Yeah. Literally, I was just talking to someone about that the other day.
Yeah, I want to go back and do it, but you know what's weird? So I asked her if she wants to do it. She's like, yeah, I want to do it. She wants to do Thailand too, and that's like if you haven't done that side of the world, Thailand's the easiest, really.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not something for everybody, right? Like you can chill, you can party, you can go to nice foods, nice restaurant. Like you can go sightseeing.
Bang for your buck.
Yeah, like it's the only tough part is getting there. Once you're there, everything's easy.
That's the downside too, because we talk about it. And I was
even tuk-tuks, like you get anywhere in the city, in Bangkok for like $10.
Yeah, and we talked about going, and she's like, "Yeah, I want to go out there," and I was like, "I'd like to go back," but it's so interesting. I don't know why I say so interesting, but I think it's
that's what you say all the time.
Yeah, I know. I think everything's interesting.
That's so interesting.
I say it a lot. I don't think everything's interesting. Actually, I do think everything's interesting, but I want to go as well. I'd actually really love to go back to like Thailand and do the islands, and especially go with her. But now that like the world's kind of opened up and like Europe's back and everything, it's this like constant like battle because like Thailand, you can go anytime really. Well, not the rainy season, but more or less, it's pretty much any time of the year is pretty good. But like somewhere like Bali's peak season is from like April to like September, right?
Yep.
So same as like Europe, essentially.
Yep.
So we talked about going, and I was like, well, it's so hard because I love going to Greece. I like Greece, Italy, Spain, all the southern, like whatever.
The Mediterranean.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, what, like, would I be willing to give up a summer of like, would I rather trade an option to go there for a few weeks or go out there? It's so hard because I just love the Mediterranean. The other side is like, it's such a different experience. I like flying. So the 13-hour flight, if you're using points and you can fly in business, like it's amazing because there's such great flights out that way. It's just so hard. You know what I mean?
It's just tough because you're not going to do it for less than a week. Minimum, you need a week.
Yeah.
And to take 2 separate weeks off between like, a busy time of the year. Because I don't know about your industry. Is summer busier than winter?
No.
Winter's busier?
August is the slowest month for us, I think, because a lot of people take vacation before school. Yeah. Summer, August is slow. December's kind of slow. It's a lot of work
Christmas,
events and Christmas stuff, but...
I would. I know exactly what you mean because even me and John were talking about this because I said we're doing Mykonos and Ibiza again. John's like, man, you're doing the same trip again. I was like, well, we're mixing it up a tiny bit, but I'm like, I know what I love.
Yeah.
I know I love Mykonos, especially with like our crew. I know I love Ibiza. Why would I change it up? Like you do a couple different. That's why I'm not coming to Barcelona because like I know I love it, but I know I love those 2 places. Let me try something else. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's hard to give up those when you're there.
Yeah.
Like, man, like it's tough because I would love to do a different part, do the Alps or something, go on like a ski trip in the Alps or something. But okay, then I'm going to Europe in the winter. Like I've never done that. Maybe I'll do that eventually, but it's like maybe I'll go to Brazil in the winter, or you go down to Florida, spend some time down there because Florida again is fairly cheap too, right?
Yeah, it's very hard, and I think the for myself at least, what I'm fortunate about is that I've traveled and been to so many countries. And while I was doing that, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, hit like get to 50 countries, then 60 countries, and do 70, and all that, and get to 100. Like I think hitting 100 countries would be something cool to say.
You're fucking unreal.
Yeah,
and I mean, cool.
I'm like,
you're in the top like 0.1% of the world.
Yeah,
that's done that.
I'm halfway there. I think I'm just over 51.
Wow.
51 because Turkey, I left the airport and came back in. But like I counted, but not really counted.
100% you count it. If you leave the airport, because the airport is international.
Yeah, it's
grounds, right?
Yeah. It's not whatever.
It's actually as soon as you leave the security, right?
Yes,
that's what they say.
Yeah.
But you have to step outside.
But I had to get the visa because I had to like go back through. Anyways, I'm halfway there. But the thing is, I think about it, and I'm like, okay, is there another 20 countries, even 50 that I want to go to? And I could probably like figure out 20 for sure, 25. But then at a certain point, it's like, okay, are you going here just to say you went there? Because
or do you really want to go?
Right. Because even of all the countries I went to, like the places through South Africa. Like I loved South Africa. I loved Namibia. But Namibia is just above South Africa on the west coast.
Okay.
And it's very cool. Like it is a cool experience. I'd probably like to go back. But again, like I've seen it. Is it going to move the needle, or would I rather go to the same places I've gone?
That you love.
And that's the other thing is like once you start traveling and to be able to travel to so many different places, I think where I am now is that when you travel, it's fun when you're younger to do that go chaotic stuff and see all these different places. And I still do enjoy that and I want to do that still. But there's something nice about knowing a place you've been, like knowing the hotspots, knowing people there.
Yeah.
Like Mykonos is an easy example because I'm Greek. And I have I know I have friends out there now that I've made over the years, and I also have some family that work there. So when we go, I get on WhatsApp and everything is sorted out for that 4 days we're there. I can do it in a day theoretically. But even Ibiza, like we've done it so many times, and everyone's like you're going to party and raves and this. I'm like, we used to go, we'd go to all the different events, but even this time now we're going with we're a little bit older, we're going with a different group. Like we know it well, so we can do it, but we also know, okay, we've never done this side of the island, the nicer dinners at the restaurants, going to Formentera, all those things.
100%.
So, but even there, we have friends that we've met, and
Mario
and Carmel, who are great. I literally messaged them, like, let me know what you need, and like we got everything sorted out. And yes, you're in the same place. It could be redundant, but the thing is, these places are also beautiful. So there's so much that you still haven't seen,
and you're not going to see everything. Even if you go 2 or 3 times, like Mykonos, I've been 3 times now. There's still so many parts like I don't remember, or I probably haven't seen. Same with Ibiza. Like we've done Ibiza, but again, we haven't done Formentera. There's so many other beach bars and so many other like restaurants we haven't tried.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
like-
even staying on a part of the island this time that I don't think we've ever gone to.
No, we always stay in the same place, right?
Ushuaia, yeah. Which is kind
on
of
that
sad.
strip.
Sad we're not staying there, but
I might. Depends when I come home.
Oh,
I haven't decided
after
yet.
we
Yeah,
leave.
yeah, after
Oh,
you guys
like
leave.
this
So I
guy.
haven't. On that note, I haven't decided. My parents might go to the race in Italy. The
Monza?
Formula, which is the
Georgia and
following
Mark have
weekend.
gone.
Yeah, so if they go there, then I can't go to Portugal because I have to come home a little bit earlier. I can't come home on the Friday or the Saturday. I'd have to come home on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna come home on the Wednesday, I'll spend an extra night or 2 nights in Ibiza.
Stay Ushuaia?
Stay Ushuaia, just like.
That's a good place by yourself. You can do whatever.
Oh man, I can stay anywhere
You can
alone.
stay
Man. Just
anywhere.
fucking just go down there, have a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I'm excited for this trip.
Okay, so on this trip, for those who obviously don't know, you're going earlier, but the whole crew of us is doing Mykonos. Then most are doing Barcelona.
All of them
Ibiza.
except for you and DB,
Yeah.
basically. So we have 10 friends, and we're doing 4 days Mykonos, 2 days. Well, actually, sorry, let me back up because it actually starts. I won't include the part that I'm going to me and Becca, but Danielle, Vicky, and Maz are coming to meet us, I think, in Paros.
Yep.
For 3 days, right before Mykonos. So we're there for 3 days, then Mykonos 4. Knuckles. Mykonos 4, Barcelona for 2, but it's like really like not even 48 hours. And then Ibiza for 4, and then we fly home on Labor Day. So it's like, what, that's 8, 2, 10, 13 days?
Yeah.
So 2 weeks basically. So 2 weeks, it's like essentially 8 to 10 friends together for 2 weeks, which is, I've never done a trip like that of all the trips we've done. Because usually the only place that everyone meets us is like Mykonos,
Yeah.
and then everyone disperses. Like,
The closest thing would be your sister's wedding. Because
True,
that was
because-
7 days.
because
or
it was
8
the-
days.
before
the
that
wedding,
too. Yeah.
We were in
Yeah, yeah.
Nyata, then we did the wedding, then we did
yeah,
Mykonos. So like
yeah.
we were a good 10 of us for like a week.
Yeah.
What's the part you're most excited for the trip?
That I'm most excited for? Oof. Okay, so there's the part that I for sure that I know that I'm most excited about is Costa Navarino.
What's that?
It's on the west coast of Greece. It's like a pocket, about 2 hours from where I'm from. Basically like 2 hours, about an hour north of Sparti on the Italian side, the west side.
Okay.
And it's like a resort that was built by Marriott. It's called Costa Navarino. It's like a Westin and a Romanos hotel, and they built them to be very like, the word palatial probably comes to mind. Like
I don't know what palatial means.
like a palace.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the right word. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like very Roman. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
built it to look like that historic thing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's cool. Picture like the nicest resort you'd see in the Caribbean, or one of the nicer ones, and it's like a resort like that in
Is it on the
Greece.
beach?
Right on the beach,
Okay,
which you don't get that really. Like there's obviously resorts on the beach, but it feels almost all inclusive.
Yeah, yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
A lot to do. It's not all inclusive, which was really get you, but
But he's going to rinse you.
yeah, but it is very nice, and it's gonna
My
be
man's
us
got to
two.
sell some more clothes, eh?
Oh yeah, we gotta fire those up. We because we're gonna be with family, her family first in the UK, and then my family and things. So that'll be the only time that whole trip that's just me and her. So it'll be kind of nice to relax.
How many days is that?
Just 2 days.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
booked it with points,
Yeah.
whatever, which is steal.
How many
out there.
points?
60,000 a night.
16 or
60? But Bonvoy. 60,000 Bonvoy is like, I think it's like 20,000.
Oh, peanuts.
15 or 20,000 Amex, let's say, something in that
Nuts.
range.
That's
It's
nothing.
very cheap, relatively speaking. Because like if you book a W, like if you booked a W in Barcelona, it's like 100,000 a night.
Well, just even think about this. I've hit my max points on my Cobalt. I've had the
The
Cobalt for 8
100,000,
months.
it's because it's 100 and.
It's 150,000.
But does it max you out on the multiples?
On the bonus points.
But you can still get
yeah,
them.
you still get points. You just don't get the bonus points. Because I got negative because they give them to you and then they subtract them after, and I had negative points 1 month because I got these points and I transferred them all out. But my in Vegas, so I picked up one of the bills in Vegas at Wet Republic. So bill was like, I don't know, 4,500 American, so like 6,500 Canadian times 5 food and beverage.
30,000 points.
36.
That's
it was
insane.
36 and
That's your flight
change.
to that's your flight to
That's
Europe?
my flight home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
That's amazing.
that party cost me nothing if you
Do
think
you get
about it.
those multiples every year or once they run
Yeah,
out?
no, it's every year. It's a yearly. It's up to 150,000 bonus points each 10 or 12 months.
That's insane. It's the best card. Bang for your buck,
Well,
best card.
When we talk about this all the time, it's just about knowing what you spend your money on.
Yeah.
Like someone like, I don't know, let's say, I have friends who don't go out and drink as much as I do. Okay, cool. Then having the Cobalt doesn't make sense for you. It's about knowing that.
Groceries, it's because
Actually, yeah,
multiples,
groceries, yeah.
groceries, food and dining, and something else is 3.
No, groceries is 3 times, I think.
No, that's subscriptions. Dining, groceries, And there's one thing that's in that category. It's 5 times the points.
Yeah. So there you go. Right. It's like, and it's only $12 a month. I think.
$11.99 a month.
Yeah. Something ridiculous.
One of the best cards. Anyways, to go back, that's what I'm looking forward to most. What about you? What's your?
As weird as this is, I think it's just like both villas and just being like 10 of us in that villa. Because remember the villa party we had in Mykonos the last time?
Yeah.
I just remember like waking up, like the whole crew's there. Everyone's fired up.
Yeah.
Random people are coming out, like, because again, it's Mykonos and Ibiza. Everybody's there at the end of the summer. Not everybody, but there's always people there. So we're going to get there. And I'm like, oh, okay, come party with us, blah, blah. I'm like, I remember at one point, I think we just had our arms around each other. Like someone was DJing and we're just like, I think it was Martinez or something.
Yeah.
And we're just like, man, this is fucking awesome.
That's one of the fun.
You know what I mean? Like Kia lost his fucking drone. We're all just like having fun. Like Zio's passed out.
Yeah.
DB's in his robe. And you're just like, this is amazing.
It was, that's one of the funnest parties that like I've ever just been to.
Like it's one of the very few house parties like I love. You know what I mean? I don't love.
Like we threw a house
parties.
party in Mykonos, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like I don't love house parties. I don't like. Actually, I don't even like house parties.
Oh, I love house parties.
See, I don't. I'm the opposite. Like you know me. I want to be at a club. I want to be. But out there, when you have this like beautiful villa and like you have random friends coming by and just the vibes are high, everyone's having a good time. It's
it's gonna be good.
That's what I'm like. That setting, you know.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna try and be a little more tame. Not tame, but I gotta be careful because this is like a segue back to the running thing because I have to train for this like the marathon. So I have to be running out there, which I don't know if I'm able to do because I'm always the one when I go. I've like for the last, let's say, I don't know, 3-4 years. Last 3-4 years, I actually I run often, and I'll always be like, before vacation, you run more, you try to drop some weight, whatever. And I always pack running shoes, and I was like, I'm gonna run for sure. Even in Yata, where it's chill, you're not partying, like so I'm waking up early, going to the beach. I still don't end up running. I'm gonna get one run in, but this time,
and it's always at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. And
this time I actually also it's so hot there too.
Yeah, but the problem is being away that long. Being away for that long, and then the marathon's in October and November.
Literally like 6 weeks.
Right. So I'm gonna be in like the middle of the training plan, and the coach the plan they gave me is like my long runs build up quite a bit. So by that point, I'll be having to do 2-hour like long runs on Saturday. So I don't even know how to run 2 hours in a place like Mykonos because the roads, number one, are hills. 2, they're dangerous. Like even in the daytime,
people are just ripping around those corners blind.
People are like probably driving back drunk at night or in the daytime from the night parties or going to the beach.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna do there, but
that's gonna be a tough one.
If you want to run, feel free.
No, probably not. I'll maybe walk a little bit.
So your goal is to get to what?
200 kilometers before August 25th.
But so you just want to do it before you leave?
Yeah. So I want to get more fit, and I want my abs like I had them like 3 years ago, and I know I need to diet, and I just can't. I don't know. It's just it's not possible for me right now. I don't know what it is. I see food. I have to eat it. I'm not hungry. I had dinner. I destroyed those bag of candy. I didn't even like the candy, and I had to eat them.
Yeah, those candies suck.
They were here. I'm like, I know I didn't like them last time, but maybe they changed flavors this time. I hate the whole thing. I might know. I'm not enjoying this, and I'm just eating it because it's there. And then I walk by the stupid snacks over here, and I start eating these. I'm like, I'm not even hungry. What am I doing?
Yeah, why do you do that?
I don't know, man. And I can't stop. Like I literally know I'm not hungry. I'll just eat because it's available.
But see, this is so interesting because I'm the same way, and people say like, oh, like you can't just eat one or eat a few and do it. If something is in my vicinity and I know it's there, I can't like block it out of my mind.
It's just like
I won't eat.
Don't think about an elephant. You're thinking about an elephant. Don't eat the food. Oh fuck! Of course I'm gonna eat the food.
It's a weird example, but yes.
I try and drink water. I'm like, yeah, I'll drink so much water where I'm not gonna be hungry. And it's like, okay, I drink so much water. Okay, the food's out. And it's like. Everyone's like, why don't you just throw the food out? Well, that's rude. I can't throw the food out. Someone paid for that.
Yeah.
Especially if I know I paid for it. It's even worse. And the problem is, okay, no, just make small changes to your diet. Instead of getting a large, get a small. Well, the large is only $2 more than the small. So like the value proposition on the large is way better than the small. So of course I'm gonna get the fucking large. Because then maybe I'll save it for later. Right? I'll split it. I'll only eat half the large.
Won't do that.
But then I cut it in half. I'm like, I'm still kind of hungry. Okay, let me eat the whole.
So that's always that. I don't understand that with you. Like I actually,
man, you know me. I've always ate like outside of your cousin. I eat the most out of anybody we know.
Yeah.
I just can't do. So instead of getting a better diet,
I just work out more.
Just work out more.
How are you finding running so far? You have the worst knees in the world.
Yeah, to be honest, not terrible. I bought a little fanny pack thing today with the 2 little waters.
Okay.
You guys see, I look like a dad out there, man. Big time dad.
Why don't you just buy the handheld water bottle?
I don't like holding things in my hand when I run.
I didn't either, but it's better than the belt. At least I find because I have the belt. And I had the handheld. Yeah. I hate the belt because it bounces a little bit.
Mine's actually pretty good.
Well, you can tighten it, but it's still something on your hip. I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Today was my first time running with it. Mind you, I ran insanely slow today. I didn't mind it, though. Like you get a good
shoes. What shoes are you running in?
The running shoes. They're actual running shoes. They're in my car. I don't know what they are. They're Nike something. They're legit running shoes.
They're new. They're good.
No, they're not new, but they're running shoes.
Like, how old are they?
I don't know, maybe 2 years.
Okay, they're beaten up. You've worn them a lot. Are those colorful ones, like the colorful white with the color on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get better shoes, bro.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Like, if you're gonna run 200, like, listen, if like, this is what's so interesting. You prioritize health so much, but the things that you like could get to like also aid in keeping you healthy, you don't spend money on.
Yeah.
Like my running, I have the best. I'm not even a good runner, and I have the best shoes that Nike makes for like running long distances. Yeah. And do you know how much they help your joints?
Yeah, I know. I
have a bad knee right now, so I also have my sprained ankle still, but that when I run is okay. But my right knee, because I've started to ramp up my running, is like I can feel like almost like the tendonitis in it.
Yeah.
And I have all my Nike, all my shoes are Nike. They're all good. I have three specific ones that I run for my training. The two are the Vaporfly 2%.
I think mine are the Pegasus or something.
Yeah, I know which ones you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are the ones. The Vaporfly 2% I have, which are really good. They're basically the first shoe that was made for Elliot Kipchoge or whatever to break the two on the Monza track or whatever he ran, and he didn't break it. So those were already made for to break the record. So I bought those. I bought one. I actually bought both on sale though. I bought one full price, one on sale. The one on sale are sick.
Is that the pink one with the graffiti kind of thing?
No. Those were sick. Good.
Those were
so
sick.
You know the blue ones I have, the frosted blue with the red?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two pairs of the same shoe, just they two different looks. You know my really nice ones that are white with like the teal bump, whatever? I have the Vaporfly 2s in that same one. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so.
So anyways, the two that I have that are the same, those ones I use for like my training, and those ones are really good, but I still have some discomfort when I'm running because they're a harder sole. So like I run in those, which are still the best, and I still have some discomfort, and I run with like the best one so I don't injure myself. And I'm probably not even running as much as you right now. Yeah. So why don't you spend a little bit of money?
No, so I went to Nike about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I was gonna buy shoes for my feet. Like I have flat feet, so I was gonna get ones like made for flat feet. They're just so ugly.
Which ones?
They were, I don't know, but they're just like boxy looking, like they just like look like something my dad. No, they're not Monarchs.
I want to buy a pair of those.
Yeah, I know.
Like I actually want to buy a pair.
They look like something like my dad would wear, and I'm like, they're just boxy and ugly. I'm like, I don't want to wear these. So mind you, I've been wearing my insoles lately. Like I ice my knees. I do a little bit, but yeah, I don't stretch enough. I don't do enough yoga. But shocking, I feel pretty good. Like all things considered.
You ran pretty fast. I saw your time there, dude.
That was a good one. And my thing is, I start slow.
For like not a 10K race, like a 10K just run. That's a good pace.
I start slow. Like my first 3 or 4 kilometers are always my slowest.
Oh yeah.
So I'll start at like a 6.5 pace, 6:15, and I'll work my way down. And then by the end, you want to get sub 6. Like that for me, sub 6 is good.
Yeah, you should buy good shoes though.
I think I will, Georgia. I'm gonna do it.
But
and $100 gift certificate to Foot Locker. I'm gonna go and buy a pair of nice running shoes.
Don't buy the ones that because the ones I have.
No, I need something for flat feet.
Buy like the ones that.
No, I'll bite the bullet and wear the ugly ones because I need ones for flat feet. That's just like.
So even if you get better, so the 2% and the Vaporfly Alpha Fly Next percents have a carbon insole in the foot here. So they're like, I don't know if they're meant for like not, or I don't know if they're not meant for. Sorry, I don't know if they're meant for flat feet or they. You know what I'm
so yeah, the ones that I need, the guy was explaining to me at the running room once. This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So the ones with flat feet, they have like an extra little pad with it, and then the side walls are very supported, especially on the interior side because my feet pronate, right?
So crazy.
I have the ugliest feet. We all know.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just terribly ugly.
Yeah, get good shoes, man.
I'm gonna get them.
You have to.
I'm gonna get them eventually.
Will you ever run a marathon?
I don't know. I just don't see it in my future.
We
were talking about this the other night on the Uber ride back from your cousins. He's like, why don't you just run it with me? Just run it with me.
Yeah, but for a guy who like to do challenges, like why not just try it to say you did it?
So do you want this year? Because exactly how you're going to Mykonos and you're worried about like training there. I remember what it was like when I didn't train. I don't want to train when I'm in Europe this year. I'll walk. I have no problem walking. And then I know September's a busy month for me already between weddings, football, like parties, my birthday, whatever. So it's like, I regret not signing up for something like early August. Like if I did like a triathlon, like the Toronto Triathlon's next weekend. And I regret not signing up for something like that or even like a Toronto Marathon or something and then start training a little bit earlier because that I would have been down for. It's just to do it in October, there's just zero part of me.
That's like, hold on, but the New York's in November. If you sign up, you have to raise money to do it.
Historically, like September, October, November, December are like my unhealthiest, like unfit months of the year.
Would you want to run the Miami Marathon end of January?
No, can't run inside.
You have to run
But I would
inside.
train inside. I'd have to train inside.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, 'cause
but like December's still not bad
I
outside.
don't like running in the cold.
Interesting.
Like again, if I next year, if there's a marathon like July 25th or like August 5th, I'll do that with you next year 100%. Sorry, not 100%.
August
Possible.
5th? I don't know if there's many in the summer. There's not many places you can. I mean, there's probably somewhere in the world that you can run one in August, unless you want to do November next year.
No,
Because I'm gonna run Athens next year.
I don't want to run.
So that's the thing too. I'm signed up for 2 because I thought it'd be smart to like. So I signed up for the Toronto and then New York, and they're like 4 weeks apart. And it's funny.
Wait, the Toronto one's
October 16th,
Okay.
and November 6th is New York. Becca's doing New York with me. Well, I'm doing with her because she got in first. And then Toronto, I signed
love
up.
that you corrected. I'm doing it with her because she.
Well, I don't want her to listen to this. Be like, oh, I
She's
got
like,
it.
oh, no, actually, you're doing it with me,
Because
George.
she tells everyone that, like, so do you know the story? That I've applied for like 3-4 years in a row. I think it's
Never
like
get
3
it.
years I've applied, and it's like one of the most popular ones because it's just a raffle to get in.
Isn't it besides Boston's the most popular one in North America? Isn't
Boston is like the most like sought after.
Yeah.
But I think the highest, the most applicants to run is New York and London. I think.
it? London,
I
England.
believe so. Yeah,
Really?
London is high and New York is high.
Why is London high?
I think it's because anyone can get in. Boston you have to qualify for.
Oh.
You can't just. I don't think anyone can run Boston. And they have to qualify.
You're
for
right.
Boston.
Blake told us this. Remember?
Yeah, you got to run like a sub 3.5, which is absurd. Not absurd, but it's pretty nuts.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I'm trying to get for a 4 and
3.5.
Yeah,
That's literally you're running sub 5.5. You're running sub 5,
yeah.
but like consistently, or sub 6 actually.
No,
No, sub 5. Yeah.
Because so the weird thing is I'm training in miles now because the coach I have is from the States. She gave me a plan in miles, which is kind of throwing me off because I don't know what my splits are. But no, if you run a 6 minute per kilometer pace, that's a 4 on the dot.
Yeah.
And it's
And that's a solid. That's
so
solid.
what's crazy is when I was training for Athens the first time in 2020, my longest run was my best run, and I ran 30 kilometers in 3 hours, which is up in Innisfil, which is all hills. So I basically was on pace for, if I could hold that for one more hour, I would have run a 4-hour marathon, which for me is nuts. A fat guy like me doing that, I still don't, I think I maybe was broken because there's no way I ran that fast. Like right now I'm running at like a 6:45.
That's literally my pace. 6:44 right now.
No, you
For the
ran.
month. No, for the month so far. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But
That one race was run was good, but mostly I'm.
But that one run is indicative probably of what you could probably do a half marathon.
I did the half marathon a couple years ago. I did sub 2.
I did it.
I was 155 or 158.
That's what mine was. I think I was
Yeah,
156.
We're probably around the same time.
Yeah.
Did we run it the same year?
No, I ran with the Martinez cousins. I ran it. I didn't really train with them, and then I ran it, and I pushed myself. I was beat up the next day. My ankles.
But mind you,
and my
that's
knees.
also a relatively easy half marathon
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
mostly downhill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. That's the one in October. That's the marathon I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like, I'm not dreading, but then when I think about it, the half. So the race of the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, it's the same track. You're on the half and the full, but when the half turns up Bay Street at Lakeshore to finish, the marathoners keep going down to the East End. And I remember how I felt turning that, so I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, but I'm doing that one in October, and then I have like the 3-week gap till the next one. So I was talking to the coach because the team I'm on for New York, they gave us a coach to whatever.
Like better when you have to raise that much money. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean they better give you something.
They give you a nice little T-shirt or something too.
I think so. Something. Some fucking metal.
A little
who knows?
Gildan fucking
some cheap T-shirt and some picture on the wall. But I told her what I'm running,
metal.
and I told her my plan. And she goes, "How many days can you run?" I told her, so she built me a plan. But when we were talking over the phone, I said, "I'm running my first marathon in October." And she's like, "Oh, that's like when?" I told her, she's like, "That's pretty crazy, like 2 in a month." And in my head, I'm like, the guy's
Can
like,
you just run a half though?
I could and I might. I'm
Yeah.
convincing myself to run the marathon first because what the coach told me was interesting. She said, I told her that New York's the one that's like the bucket list one. It's going to be cool. And she said, okay, that's great. If you want to run a sub 4, I'll build a plan for you to get to a sub 4, but you should aim for the sub 4 in October because you just never know what's going to happen. If you're on 2 in a row and maybe you don't run as well there and then, maybe you get a little tired, your legs are weaker, whatever reason. Yeah. And then New York, you're there, you're in the excitement, you want to just have fun. If you don't run the sub 4 first, it'll put more pressure on you there. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's fair. But that's the only thing is I've never run a marathon, so doing 2 that close is kind of like not freaking me out.
Let's see how you feel.
Right. So that's what I might see in the day of the race. I might just like get there to Toronto, and if I feel good, go for it. If not, I'll just make that turn up and not push it.
Do you know what? Marathons and like triathlons and anything like that, those are the only time I think participation medals are okay.
Yeah.
I want my medal. When I finish cross line, I want my fucking participation medal. I want a stupid medal that says happy 10K. Congrats on 21.
That first half marathon I did when I was in Spain or whatever was one of I was just so happy to finish. Yeah. It was so friggin' hard. But now this time I think because I've done some and like 10Ks, whatever.
You ran 30K in the past.
And the other thing too is I've never done one of these challenges, like probably like you with your triathlon. You probably just like, you wanted to do well, but you're like, I just want to finish this thing.
Yeah.
So after like the first half marathon I did, I said, let me just finish it so I can feel good about myself because I never thought I could do it. And then I did another one and I was like, okay, let me try to do a little bit better and break 2, whatever. And then now I'm like, okay, like let me start training with a purpose because like whenever I run, I just run. I don't have like a set time. I don't put distance. I just gonna go. Now that I have this plan and this goal, I'm like, okay, I gotta stick to this. Try to keep my like diet in check, keep my legs like loose and all this stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of nice. Like it is pretty daunting because this plan she gave me, I run 5 days a week basically, and it's not too bad. Like it's like a temp. Like
what kind of runs are there? Is it like today's a long run? You got to do 10K. It doesn't matter the pace. Tomorrow's a short run, but I want fast. Like what's it kind of entail?
So for the most part, all the runs she gave me are runs that I typically do already. Like I vary through them, but Mondays is a ladder run, which is like a short speed run kind of thing where you like a 3-2, like 3 minutes at a good pace, 3 minutes of a jog, 2 minutes at a good pace, 1 minute your heart faster pace, and then you kind of ladder up and down. Tuesdays.
But what kind of distance?
Just for time.
Oh, it's just for time.
So it's 3 minutes. It's like a 10-minute warm up, 3 minutes, and then it's gonna build to 4 and then 5 and it accumulates whatever.
Okay, so Tuesdays.
Tuesdays is a like not a tempo run, but like a pretty like steady run. So I'm doing like it started at 4 miles every Tuesday. Now it's up to 5 miles this week, and it probably is gonna stick to that range.
So 5 miles is what, about 8 kilometers?
5 miles is about 8
5
kilometers.
times 1.6, give or take.
So it's 5 miles. This week's 5 miles on Tuesday with strides at the end. I kind of mix them in. Strides is like 15 seconds of like a little burst, but like not a sprint at a good healthy pace. 4 to 6 of those at the end of the run. I kind of mix them in every kilometer. Wednesday's off day. I typically do. I still box on Tuesdays, but Wednesday's an off day. I typically do like stretching or cross training, whatever. Thursdays is a tempo run. I either hold like a strong pace for a certain time, or I do 15-minute warm up, and then it's like 3 minute intervals for like 4 minute intervals of like holding a steady pace.
And are you still working out, like doing weight training during this time?
No, I've actually like kind of dropped with it, and I should get back into it to keep my legs and my like.
It's just so
tight.
tough though.
It is. It's hard because I also like I've done in between this. I would do like a Nike Fitness like leg workout, and Becca and I did one that was like 15 minutes. It wasn't even that long. I couldn't walk the next day.
I did legs. So now that I started running, I'm not doing legs right now because I'm literally running every other day or every third day. I did legs on Thursday or Friday of last week, and my legs were actually fucking like I did maybe 4 exercises, three sets of each, but one of them I did squats and then I did one-legged lunges. Yeah. Or I forget what they're called when you put your leg up and you're lunging with your leg up on the back. Bulgarian lunges. Yeah, squat. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I walked out there. I was like, oh my God, I feel crippled. Everything is just tense and tight. Like my cat, everything was so tight.
So that was so weird because I wasn't running a lot, but when we did that leg workout like 2 weeks ago, I had to do the long run the next day, I think, and I was sore, but then I had the long run, and then like we couldn't walk for like a day after, which is like I don't think I've ever had that, and it wasn't even a long workout. Just to finish up the plan, and then what did I say? Thursday's tempo run. Yeah. Friday's off. Saturday's a long run, only for time. So the coach said she doesn't go by distance. When you're training, it's time, because if you're trying to run a sub 4 or sub whatever 3, 2,
it's based off your time.
You just got to keep practicing at that time, so your legs are used to running at that length. So I'm at like an hour and a half right now. So Saturday will be an hour and a half run. And then Sunday's like a 2 to 3 miler, 3-4 miler, something in that range to shake it out and like whatever.
Do you have a nice path near you that you or a nice trail?
Sure.
You go, so you just do lake,
typically, yeah.
Do you ever go west, or you always go east?
Not yet. I will probably start going that way because my parents are out that way. And my parents are like probably like 10, maybe 13 kilometers from where I am. So when I get the longer runs, I'll probably go there for dinner.
Oh, it's perfect. You know what's nice? Your place to here is 10K.
It depends where you go. If you take the lake and cross over at Palais Royal on that bridge and then up Queen, it's about 9 to 10.
Yeah, I mean if you go
the whole way to Strawn, it's actually longer. I think it's almost 12 to 13. I think because we did it. We did it. I did it once on the way to the studio last summer, and I think it was about 12 to 13. Yeah.
I know. For me, from my condo to the bridge at Jameson, that downhill and back is It's 11 and a half, but I always walk like at least like 500-600
Your
meters to
condo
start.
to the Bridge of Jameson?
Yeah. If I go down from my condo, I go down Spadina to Lakeshore and then out there and back is about 11 and a half.
Yeah.
And then from my condo to like the Ontario place and back is about 8 and a half. And then I know from the first parking lot when you get off the Gardner at Lakeshore to that hill is 2K. So it's like now I know, okay, today I'm going to do 5. Here's where I got to go to and back.
I actually am enjoying it. I run with no headphones either now.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I ran for the first time with headphones the other night. Becca was kind of mad. She's like, I was about to go for the run, and she's like, I had like a long day at work, and I was like, you know what? I should have put like a podcast on. I had one for fantasy football I wanted to listen to, which I've been getting really.
My man getting fucking fired up for fantasy football 2 months in advance.
I'm down to talk about it. I got started listening to it a bit lately, and I listened to The Ringer, which I like. Anyways, I was listening to it a bit on the drive home, and then I knew we had to run. I think we did a 3-mile tempo run. I put my headphones on. I said, do you ever bring headphones? She's like, yeah, do whatever you want. And then I put my headphones on and I started running. She's like, why'd you wear headphones? She's like, I'm going to be bored. I was like, I asked you if I could wear headphones. And I said, and I asked you if I can. Not I don't need permission. But I said, do you care if I wear headphones? Because we run together. She runs like she never wears headphones. She can run like a half marathon, no headphones. It's crazy.
To me, that's crazy.
But you know what? Now that I've got into it, of running without headphones, I actually really like it. There are days when you're in your head a lot, like when you have like a shit day or there's a lot you're thinking about, it gets a little bit frustrating because you're thinking about a lot and you're trying to clear your head. But running with no headphones, I think, is one of the best things. You know why though? Do you meditate at all?
I tried to, and I just don't enjoy it.
But see, so I tried to as well, and for a bit, like let's say like about a year ago or something, middle of lockdowns, whatever the hell it was. I was using a Headspace and I was meditating. I actually kind of liked it. Like it was
Headspace
nice.
is good because it's controlled meditation. It's guided meditation.
And it's nice. Like I kind of liked it. I was getting up to like 10 minutes sometimes, even like 13-minute meditations, typically shorter ones. Problem is, as I have for sure have ADD and I don't like sit in there. So like I would sit in front of the window with the sun in the morning. It was nice. Like actually, it's a good way to start your day. But I find that I'm like, you know what? Okay, well, running is also like, I like it, but it's also like hard and grueling and time consuming. And meditating is also the same thing. I don't like they're, you know what I mean? You're sitting.
I get what you're saying.
You're doing something repetitive, essentially. I was like, they're kind of like the same thing. So why don't you marry the two? So when I run with no headphones, I actually find that like I think about more stuff. I also like Becca and I run a lot, so we talk and just like talk about work and life and whatever. So it gets like your thoughts
Makes
out.
the time go by.
Yeah, and it is kind of refreshing to run with just like taking in the surroundings. Especially because like where you run, like same where I'm at
runs.
down the lake, it's nice. Like on in the evening or first thing in the morning when people are out, the air is nice. It feels good. So I don't know. I find it cathartic to run with no headphones on now.
See, my problem is it's like there's times where I'm running even with headphones and I zone out. I'm in my and I love it. And you're like, fuck, like how'd I get here, kind of thing, right? But there's times like my headphones die and I'm like 2K away from my car. And I'm like, fucking hell, like. All I can hear, because again, I hear my feet. It's just like stomp, and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna like stab my ears out soon. It's just like, I don't think there's many worse sounds than just hearing my feet stomp the ground. Like it drives me nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, like if my headphones die, workout's over.
Yeah, you said it to me.
Because I need that, like, you hit that 7K mark, you're starting to fucking fade a bit. And then you just double tap the ear and that song comes on. You're like, Infinity came on the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm like running. I'm finishing like my 8K or something. I'm like, hey, I need that boost. Okay, next song. Oh, Infinity. Boom. Thinking about Mikko. Sun's setting. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Yeah, let's abs, baby. Like, let's fucking go sub 5. And I'll crush like literally a 5-minute kilometer. I hear a good song.
Yeah, that's true.
And then a shitty song comes on. I'm like, okay, double tap. That's right. Remember the time I ran the half marathon? I ran to Leaky Lee, the musician, Follow Rivers,
yeah,
on repeat for 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, I can't do that. I actually can't. I don't listen to music.
I think it's a 5-minute song too.
Yeah, I don't listen to. Weird lately. I don't listen to music when I run. Really, when I work out, or when I drive. Like I think I listen to podcasts like 90% of the time. I don't know. I can't. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I'm overstimulating myself, but I actually just like, I like
hearing. You like hearing people talk.
Yes, and I think also what I like, because I talk so much day to day. Like ask anyone I work with, or ask this. Yeah. Like I talk so much, and people always tell me, "You talk so much, you don't listen." I think that's bullshit. I think I listen. I think I listen incredibly well. Like I actually can pick up on what people are saying, even though it appears that I don't, because I'm impatient and I'll jump in before they're done talking. But I think because I listen to podcasts so much, and I'm just, or even reading, like I'm taking in, like even just, not even audiobooks, even actually reading, I'm taking in people's like information. When I'm around other people, I like, because I've sat so long listened, I want to like convey my thoughts outwards, which is also not great because like those people are not privy to all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Do you know what's funny that you mentioned that? I used to listen to music on my morning drives to work.
Yeah.
Now I can't. So I'd get in the car and I'd connect Bluetooth instantly, and I'll put on like my 6-song playlist, and I'm at the office. Now I have to listen to morning shows.
Like radio?
Yeah. So I listen to Roz and Mocha like almost religiously now because I need to hear people talking to me in the morning now.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I don't like talking in the morning, so I can't call people in the morning because I just like I'm not a happy person in the morning. I'm not pleasant.
Wait, but that recent or like in general?
Probably the last like year or so.
Really?
I don't like talking to people in the morning.
Why is that?
Even for work purposes, I'm just like, obviously if you have to, right? Like there's things, but like even my morning meetings, I try and push all the morning meetings to like maybe 10-ish.
Really?
Like 10, even like 9:30, 10, 11. Because like 7, I don't know, between like 6:30 to like 8:30 when I'm up, I just don't want to talk to anybody. I want to listen. I want to hear people talking. I want to hear people this. I don't want to talk. So every morning now I listen to either Roz and Mocha, which is 925, or 99.9 is something. Because then I still got my music in as well. But they talk like quite a bit. It's like probably 50-50 talking to music.
Why do you think you don't like to, like, why do you think like?
I don't know. It's just like, it probably, honestly, since like Cast ended, because I think we used to like talk every morning, like all the time. Now it's like, I just want to listen. I just want to hear other people talking. I don't want to say anything. I just want to take in, see what other people have to say, see what's, and again, these morning shows are all so lighthearted. There's not like, they don't get into anything serious or intense ever.
You don't like listening to like anything that's like.
I do in the evening. Like I get my news in the evenings.
Yeah.
Like in that, and then you want to like follow up, or like even lunchtime, like having my coffee, like I'll go on like whatever CP24, just collect my news. But in the morning, I don't want anything stressful. Like again, you get your morning stress from work sometimes. Like I just want to listen to, I don't want to say BS, but I just want like.
See, I don't like that.
In the morning, that's all I want. Like some of their shows that they play, I'm like, this is so dumb. Why can't I change the channel? It's like, or change the station.
See, I talk radio, sports talk radio I can do. But I have like I basically have like 4 or 5 podcasts, maybe even less, that I listen to like steady. And I know when they come out. The only one that I listen to every day, maybe I miss one a week, is PTI.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh man,
you were gonna say that.
I just like, I think it's so good, the rapport, the banter, everything they have in that show. And I don't necessarily agree with everything they say because like, you know, Michael Wilbon has that kind of not only say that old get off my lawn mentality, but it's like that how he's very like, oh, this is how things work. So, you know, pitchers don't go full games.
He's like an old white guy, right?
Which like, I kind of no. Wilbon's the black guy.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What's the white guy's Kornheiser.
Name? There it is. Yeah.
Kornheiser, but Kornheiser's more like he's in his ways. He's like more. They have a good rapport.
Yeah,
like,
they do. They have good banter. Yeah,
exactly. And I get my sports, like current event sports, out of that, and then I have Ringer, which is now back on. Listen to fantasy football. Cannot wait for fantasy football. I think I have the best team. No, I'm just kidding. And then, like, I don't know. I get Joe Rogan pops it because I subscribe to it, but I haven't listened to many of his lately. It's hit or miss with his guests. What's the other one?
You used to be a big Joe Rogan guy.
I liked it a lot because I liked all of the guests that he had on. But he's brought people on that I, as of recently, he's brought some people on that I really, really wanted to listen to, and they just turned out, like, the guest was disappointing. Yeah. Did I tell you the Nims Purja episode?
No.
I don't even know if I don't think we talked about this. So Nims, you know who Nims Purja is?
No.
So Nims Purja is the guy who did the 14 summits in 8 months. So I heard about Nims.
I follow him on Instagram.
So I started following him on Instagram. Yeah. That's how I heard about him. I think it was when he did it, 2018, 2019, whenever it was. I came across him and I followed him. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, you know, I'm obsessed with like mountaineering. So I followed his story and it was cool. And his videos are pretty cool and all that stuff. So watched the documentary, followed the story, watched the documentary, and then he went on Rogan recently after. And I don't think it's the language barrier because he speaks English pretty well. And, you know, I think he spent time in the UK, but he is from Nepal. But the way he spoke about the things that he did and the way he was answering questions was very, like, fluffy and very, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like,
you
Joe,
there's no substance.
At one point, Joe would ask him, like, you know, what's your training regimen like? Oh, Joe, well, you know, I I'd get up and I'd put a backpack on, training for the Gurkha because that's my dream. I wanted to do it, and I would run the miles and swim. And first, the stuff he said that he did to train sounds unbelievable. I gotta take his word for it, but he said he was like put a backpack on with 60 pounds, and he would run like 20 miles to the camp in the morning, run 20 miles home at night, do a swim of like a mile at night, go to bed for 3 hours, get up, do it again. So I heard that. I was like, that sounds crazy. I mean, David Goggins is probably the craziest person with this. He ran seven straight weekends of 100 milers, something like that, which is that in and of itself is insane. So this guy was running more than that consistently. I don't know. Something didn't make sense. But on top of that, then Joe Rogan would, I guess, try to reel the conversation in, and he'd be like, okay, well, what's your training like? What do you explain that to me? How did you get yourself mentally prepared? Well, I believed. I'm like, okay, man, like, come on. Is there something behind, is there a method to the madness?
Yeah.
And at least I gave up on it about an hour and a half into that episode, an hour in. And I thought, I'm like, am I being too critical because I know this guy's story? But then I asked Becca, and she's like, I couldn't get past 45 minutes.
Do you know who Ross Edgley is?
Yes.
Man.
But he's good.
He's someone like, I've listened, he's only done maybe a handful of podcasts that I can find. He's one person that like when I listened to his audiobook, it's called Greatest Something Alive or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Yes.
He's just like, you listen to him speak, you're like, just sounds like just like a fucking sick dude that I want to sit down with every day.
He explains it well, though.
Yeah.
He talks about what he did. He explains,
and even the story, because this is where me and you differ. Like, you're about like thoughts and ideas. I'm more about like storytelling. And when he's talking about how he swam around Great
Channel
Britain,
or whatever.
Yeah, and when you hear tell a story about like his tongue.
That's what literally was going to bring up.
Man, it's crazy.
Rick, I was literally about to tell you the story that I would reference. But he explains why his tongue got like that.
And that's what you want to hear. You're like, yo, you did something absolutely fucking insane that nobody can do. Like, literally, I don't think it's ever been done. I think he's one of the first.
I think he's the first.
I think he's the first and
Swam
only.
around the whole island.
Yeah, swam around Great Britain.
Yeah.
And he's telling a story, and you would never think about that.
That's what.
And then you hear how he was only eating granola, not granola,
bananas,
porridge or something, not porridge.
Yeah.
He was only eating porridge because he was burning so many calories in a day that he couldn't eat enough food to provide him with the energy he needed to do that. That's what I want to hear.
But
that was like
your point. He also said he's like, my tongue was like
it was going numb and he was getting a disease on it.
No, it was like deteriorating a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but this is why that happens. And I was like,
because the salt in the water, blah blah blah.
See, that I like. But when I listen to Nims,
we got to get him on the fucking pod.
Yeah, we can get him. That's crazy.
Essentially. And he's fucking absolutely yoked.
Yeah, he's crazy. The first time I ever heard about Ross Edgley was when he was on YouTube. I think the Red Bull Challenge or something. He swam across the English Channel dragging a log, which is
you see about how he ran the marathon with the thing on his back too?
No, I've stopped following him a bit.
Oh man, when you Google just YouTube videos of him, it's wild. He did Logan Paul's podcast too. It's a good one. Yeah,
he's good, and he's interesting to listen to. But yeah, anyways, to wrap the point up, Nims was like. He was just, it was a lot, no, and he wouldn't elaborate on things. And when he did, he was like, I believed, and it was a lifelong thing, and and it was just, and even Rogan was trying to reel him in, but like this, but it was just too much. And I was like, I gotta stop. So I guess I got on this point was, like Rogan I like, and like some of his guests I think are cool, but I used to like him a lot more. He's even bringing guys like, what's his name? Who's the Canadian guy, the professor?
Jordan Anderson.
I can't, no. Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Can't listen to that guy anymore. We don't have to go down this rabbit hole.
I haven't listened to him too much.
Can't listen to those
guys. But they
guys.
got me I just want like lighthearted bullshit in the morning.
Yeah. What's the other podcast I listen to a lot lately? I listen to, what's it called? All In is a good one too. Those guys are a little
you like your sports ones.
Those guys are, All In's the venture capital.
Oh, guys. Yeah.
They're a little much at times, but it's good to hear another take on stuff. But yeah, lately, now that fantasy football's coming back, the Ringer's kind of top of my thing. And it's actually, it's very, very early, but listening to it is getting me, in the zone because it's the only reason I never look forward to summer. Sorry, I never look forward to summer ending, but one of the main reasons I love the fall is because football. Number one, football. Yeah, but Labor Day is the best because it's we're typically away. We have the fantasy football drafts, which are amazing.
September 6th is the best day of the year.
Yeah, it's your birthday. Everyone wish you happy birthday on September 6th.
Make sure you do.
But then it starts, and also this year, hopefully, well, not hopefully, the world's back to where it should be. The borders are open, so we can get down to the States for some football. A year ago,
we already have September 18th. Is it
the Monday nighter? Yeah,
the 19th.
Yeah, Glenn's fired up for that one.
Oh, buddy, Glenn.
But anyways, that's why. Yeah, so it's so weird. I don't know about you. Doesn't it feel like summer's I feel like summer's over, which is weird.
No, it doesn't. I'm in the heart of summer and I'm absolutely loving it.
I feel it's so weird for me. In my head, it's like, oh, we're in July, so basically summer's over. But I said it to Becca the other night. She's like, "What are you talking about?"
We still have like 3 months.
Yeah.
2.5 months.
Well, end of September is still summer.
Yeah, summer for me. And the nice part is now it's like I got the AC came on. I spend so much time outside now. Where like I absolutely love it. Like it's I think I'm outside. I don't know 5 days a week, like extended periods of time.
That's amazing.
Like every night, either running, walking, or doing something. But fuck, are we at 58 minutes?
56.
Holy shit.
Pretty good one, man.
Yeah, honestly, we got going. And once we got going, it was a slow start. I mean, I was like, we gotta get into this, like something.
Yeah.
The second half hour just fucking flew by.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
I think it's
what else? Anything else going on?
Let's wrap this up. This is a good hour.
Oh, man's good at the hour mark. It's fucking cut
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like we could talk about so many other things, but I feel like it's like we got into some good ones there. Plus a Friday
I'm trying to
night.
think if there's any good questions to ask you to end it off on. I don't have a good one. Oh, I asked you, Rita, what the best thing we were looking forward to. Anyways, we wrap it up.
Actually, no. Dream guest you'd want to have on the pod for the rest of the year.
That's easy. It's like the dinner party thing. I'd like dream guest.
One guest, one person. Or if it's like a band or a group, you can have the whole group, I guess.
If I get one person, Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
Scratch that. No, you know what? Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg? Okay, that's a good one.
Because I don't know why it came up because I was playing golf with Mike today, and Mike always joke about golf, about like how Mark Wahlberg would go out like at 7 a.m. for his tee time and play in like 2 hours. He basically would have a caddy driving the cart. He would hit the ball, run to the next shot, and get his cardio in. So he basically play around the golf for 2 hours, half the time.
Wow.
Which is insane. And he has a golf course in his backyard, which is great. Like he built a golf course at his place in California. So I was thinking about him, and like that guy does so much. Even though if I had to sit down with somebody, the first person I probably pick is either like Shaquille O'Neal or Jamie Foxx probably. Mark Wahlberg, that guy, like to just sit down with him and hear like what he does for business and like his.
Well, she is like his daily routine is fucking absolutely wild.
You see the documentary about? I think it's on on HBO. It's pretty good.
Well, you see, he made a comment the other day. Someone's like, "Why haven't you been on any late night shows?" He's like, "Recently." He's like, "Cause I'm not up late at night.
Yeah,
I go to bed too early. How would I do that?"
He was at bed at like 7 p.m. He's up at 3 a.m. to work out.
First workout is that? Yeah.
Go on. You have Crave?
Yeah, I got Crave.
Go on Crave and look up. Just look up Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if it's like about him and his family, but it's basically following how he got into like it's a 5-part series. How he got into like the F-45, his new clothing brand, Federal or something.
Okay.
Or municipal clothing. It's just cool. It follows him and like that part of his life, just like early pandemic time. It's pretty cool.
I had something to say and I just forgot it.
I know. Sorry, I saw you kind of getting something there. Mark Wahlberg, crazy routines, workouts. Who would you want to get on the podcast?
It's funny because the person that came into my mind when I was asking you the question was Conor McGregor. Just because I feel like he'd be fucking like. I just feel like it would be so much fun. But I'm like, is that really the one? Like, is that my one person?
It's hard to think about because there's so many different people.
But then it's like, okay, am I saying a name that's like, you know, like Mike Weir would be super cool and that's like kind of realistic. Like,
I take back what I said. Not Mark Wahlberg. Warren Buffett.
Oh, Warren Buffett. Yeah.
Uncle Warren, baby.
I feel like I feel like it's so smart, but he's someone I'd rather sit down at a dinner table with, not
Warren
a podcast.
Buffett?
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? I feel like on the podcast, I would just be like sitting here like, okay, obviously you're picking his brain. Like you want to know everything about like how he fucking makes his decision.
You want to have something that maybe aren't better.
Yeah. Like, it's more of like private conversations than public conversations.
I've been following.
Like more as Conor McGregor, like.
You like, want that.
Yeah, I want that excitement. I want that energy. I want like, like the fucking block. Like, he fucking talks.
Warren Buffett. If I had a dinner party, I take back what I said. I don't know why I never said this. Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger might be on there. Both of them might be on there, man. I bought Charlie Munger's almanac. It's called Poor Charlie's Almanac, and it's like
what's almanac?
An almanac is I'm gonna just say a book with facts. 'Cause I could be getting it wrong. I used to have an almanac as a kid. I think it's about like facts and like thoughts or whatever. And anyways, I bought this almanac. It was like $100, I think. It's an expensive book. Probably the most expensive book I bought, $90-something. And it's this big like coffee table book, and it's basically like a part biography about him written from different people that have been in his life, but also his thoughts. and he's like one of the smartest investors of all time. And I'm reading this thing, and I was like, there's some things that he talks about his mannerisms and how he's like a little bit more brash, talks a lot, all these things, and I'm like, wow, sounds familiar. Maybe I'm Charlie Munger. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, it was interesting. What was I going at that point? I forget, but
who knows? We're gonna pick this back up. We're gonna have some exciting guests on here again. We're gonna get the ball rolling. We'll get some crazy guests.
Yeah,
and then we'll set some.
We
like,
have to put more. You gotta invest the time. It's hard.
I think it's so much harder too in the summer too, because again, like we both have like so many extracurriculars that we want to do, right? Obviously, you have times with Becca, you're running, you're golfing, like, and then work for us is both like really crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like this is peak season for me. I know it's super busy for you, so it's tough, right? But I know I feel like we'll get back on track. You know, now it's like we're gonna head into Europe, and then once Europe, because we gotta get a couple big ones before we leave, and I'm working on a couple things. So if those happen, great. If not the end of the world. We'll get some friends back on here. We'll just have some good fucking times. I know we have a couple Saturdays that I think we have blocked off, so we're gonna have some fun ones like that. Remember what we did with John Famos? We'll have like a nice day like that again.
Man, I get those guys back on anytime. They're so funny. What do you
Almost
say?
Monday's coming back too, eh? Those kids.
What do you mean?
They're coming back, not to the pod, but they're coming back to Toronto next month for a show. So I messed with them, like, yo, boys, let's get you back in here. Let's
go to the show.
Yeah, for sure we'll go. I gotta remember it. I think actually
back to Toronto that fast.
I think it's like a bigger show now, because last time was like a 300-400 person show. I think this one's like a decent size. They're doing a tour.
By the end of this year, we're gonna fill this wall.
Oh, for sure.
Like this wall will be filled 100%.
Yeah.
If anybody's got any good guests, let us know. But on that note, yeah, it's fun, man.
Pal.
Time's it. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. Let me just shake my hand for once.
Anyways, love you guys. If you listen, share this with your friends. Follow us. Actually, George, you're off social media again, right?
I deleted my Instagram again, but I'm still on there, so you can go follow me.
You just deleted the app.
Deleted the app.
And then TikTok, are you still on, or you delete that too?
I wiped everything.
So fully delete.
There's no videos on TikTok. I'm off TikTok.
Oh, okay.
100% off it. I ain't letting China have my data.
Hey, fair.
You not hear what happened?
No.
It was shown that the Chinese government has access to the data through Twitter, I believe. Could be misquoting this, but I believe that the data through Twitter through ByteDance is being shared with like Chinese officials and government and all that stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm probably better off saving these shit videos of mine on my camera roll, and they don't need to have them. They don't need to know who I am. Probably not going back there for a while. Yeah, no, I'm off of that stuff. Even Twitter. Don't get me started on Twitter. That fucking Elon Musk burned me. That mother. No, I'm kidding.
Did you lose on that?
No, I didn't. You want to hear a quick story?
You got.
So everyone said, don't buy Twitter. It's risky. It's stupid. And I said, you know what? You're right. With the way I invest, I try to follow the Berkshire Hathaway school of thought, and I go for value, whatever. For the most part. Sometimes I get caught up in the hoopla and jump in. But I went and invested in Activision earlier this year, like in January, shortly after, coincidentally, Berkshire Hathaway took a position in it. Because I was like, you know what? It's an arbitrage play, and like this doesn't seem like it'll get blocked because from whatever reasons that I had in my head, which clearly Warren Buffett thought the same thing. So am I like Charlie Munger? Warren Buffett?
Did you win on that one?
It won't close that deal till like June of next year. So it's a long play, but I think Berkshire's taking a bigger position. So
okay. Twitter.
Anyways, so I saw Twitter deal. Elon Musk announced he's buying it. I didn't own Twitter at that time. Never had Twitter. Didn't buy it. It popped up to like the deal was announced to be closed at $54.20. It was up to like 40 something. I think it went up to, or I actually might have gone all the way to 54, but then it came down because they thought it was it wasn't going to materialize. And then he talked about backing out, putting it on hold, whatever. So the stock price came all the way back down to $36, and I was like, this is probably about a month ago. And it was on a time where he was, waffling a bit, but there was still some signs that they were extending in the day. And I was like, okay, you know what? $36, this is pretty low. There's a big arbitrage spread here. And I was like, I feel like it's going to go through. I feel like he wants it, even though he's downplaying this. He probably has buyer's remorse. He probably doesn't want to pay that price because the market's taking a downturn. He rushed in. He's maybe regretting it. This is all assumptions, by the way, not investment advice. So I'm like, okay, I'll take this risk. Worst case, it drops down. If that deal doesn't materialize, it could plunge. But my gut tells me this is it's going to happen. Like he's the only one that can really unlock the potential. Whatever. So I bought it. A small position, my portfolio, like not a lot, but I bought it and I was holding it. And then a couple days after I have it, okay, there's some new news. Okay, they're working through it. The banks are working through the deal. It's going up a little bit. I'm up like through the span of 2 weeks. I basically it climbed, let's say 11% from where I was at, which is a pretty good, healthy
In
return
2
in 2
weeks.
weeks.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So my brother goes, get out. Just take your returns. Don't get greedy. I'm like, yeah, he's probably right. But I'm like, you know what? I still believe it's going to close.
My man's holding the bag.
I believe it's going to close. I believe whatever. And then the news started getting bad. So I came back down. So I was pretty much flat. Like I was even. But I'm like, you know what? I still have good faith. And then Elon Musk announces deals off. He signed the SEC documents, deals off. Stock goes down after hours. And I was thinking about selling. I was actually even at this point a few days at the beginning of this week, I think. Now when this comes out,
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
I'm at even. I'm like, you know what? I should probably just take my position out and just call it a spade a spade. I don't like this because I bought this on a whim, and I should never buy. I believe you should not buy a stock that when you go to bed at night you're thinking about. You should not have to think about it. So whatever. Didn't sell that day. It's a Monday, I think. Comes out saying deals off officially. Goes down 5% after hours. I'm like, shit. Wake up in the morning, another 3%. So I'm down like 8. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't sell yet. Let me just wait out a bit. Twitter countersue or announced they're going to countersue. The stock came back up. The next morning, I was only down 5%. I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this headache.
Take my losses.
Same with the Facebook thing. I'm like, get me out of here. So I think I sold that like a 4% loss, which again, not a big position, so it was okay. Then the next day, before I sold, I'm like, do I just hold? I'm like, this is going to take a while to materialize.
I love how this is the shorts.
No, but I'm like, I don't want, it's only been 4 minutes. Anyways, I was like, I shouldn't rush out of this. I'm not going to panic sell. I'm like, you know what though? Because I don't have to deal with this. I can put this in another position that I want to buy so I can relocate this capital. So I'm like, screw it. Took 4% loss. Not a big deal. I sold, and then I knew that Twitter was going to countersue. So when then Twitter announced a countersue the next day, the stock kind of climbed back up. So it was only down 2%. And then Hindenburg Research, which is do you know who they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so they announced that they're taking a long position in Twitter, meaning I think they're going to close. The stock jumps like 7%. So not only if I just held on 24 more hours, I would have clawed back. I probably still would have sold out then. But what
you would have been up a couple percent.
Yeah,
4 or
but
5
see, because I panicked and I got emotional, which is stupid.
It's tough though. It's tough.
But Hindenburg Research it's crazy. They shorted Twitter when the deal was announced. They thought it wasn't going to materialize, or not shortly after it was announced. Made a lot of money in that short. They closed the short out, and then I guess all the data that they've taken and what they have access to, they believe that he's going to be forced to buy or settle. So they're taking a long. If I had waited and I stuck with my gut, I still believe in the end they're going to make him buy it. I think that he's shit the bed, and I'll go on record saying this. And I would put my money where my mouth was, but I'm not going back into this deal now that I sold out.
No, yeah, you take your loss.
But
4% is not much.
You know what? Doesn't matter my ego, my pride. I still believe what I believed from the beginning. I should have stuck to my guns, but I became a coward. And that's my story to end the podcast.
Basically, George's a coward.
Moral of the story, don't buy shit that you're not comfortable holding forever. And I know that, and that's what I do. And there's a few bets. I made a few bets this year, one on Facebook, one on Twitter, 2 companies that I despise, Facebook especially despise, but the price to earnings seemed good, and I went in, got burned by the earnings report, and Twitter, I never liked Twitter.
I haven't sold a stock ever in my life.
Ever?
Ever. I've held everything. Everything I've bought, I've held.
And can I ask overall?
Overall, I'm crushing.
But like percentage return, do you know?
Probably like 35. I was up a lot more, but then recently.
From when did you start investing?
Probably 2018, 19.
It's pretty
Mind
good.
you, half of my portfolio is probably Apple. So between Apple, Google, Richie's, and Magna, it's like 2/3 of my portfolio, and those are all like
Warren
huge
Buffett,
up.
basically.
Mind you, like I've got like probably way less than you do, right?
Not way less, but yeah. But I've been accumulating. Yeah, mine's in my RSP.
Mine is like I'll buy like a little bit every now and then. I'm not gonna say numbers, obviously, but I don't do too much. But for me, it's like I think you might either I read it or you told me it's like buy a company that you would want to own. And outside of the one company I bought recently, maybe like 2 months ago, I bought one random company. I can't remember what it was called because I read it somewhere. Outside of that one, they're all companies I'd want to own or that I do business with.
Yeah.
Like all my construction ones, I love them all. They're all killing it.
Yeah.
Richie's is actually down right now compared to what it was, but anyways. But yeah.
That's how I started. The first stock I ever bought, I think, was Nike, which obviously
I got Nike.
This video, all
Nike's
Nike.
fucking
So Nike for me, when I bought it, it was up. I was up pretty big, and it came down a lot. I'm like, you know what? I think where the market's at, consumer discretionary discretionary is not going to be in favor right now. So I sold Nike, which I don't know why I did that. If I believed in that company forever, I shouldn't have done it. I get a little impatient at times.
My craziest one was I remember Endgame was coming out. And I'm like, you know what? I think this can be a great movie for Disney. I'm gonna buy Disney.
Mike and Yanni were big on those two.
And I did that, and that worked for me. Again, that one's down too because of the theme parks, obviously, COVID, whatever. But that one still did well for me. So I overall, I'm happy.
Good.
Anyways,
We can wrap it there because I told a long
You're a
story on
coward.
Twitter. I am a coward. Don't
buy Twitter. Don't buy Facebook.
Honestly,
Actually,
like
I'm down Facebook too. You guys all said don't buy it. I bought it because I thought I liked the discount. I think I'm like down. I'm down like 6%, 7%.
That's all right.
No,
That's a good part.
It's like 5% of my fucking portfolio.
Fun fact, I think this could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Facebook is one of the most, in the past quarter maybe, Facebook is one of the most purchased stocks by like institutional investors, I think, because of like the relative price to earnings. Facebook has also a history of like taking these massive swings, massive drops, massive swings, massive drops, because I guess people just like lose faith and vilify them, whatever. Yeah. So you might be on the upswing, buddy.
Love it.
Hold out. Anyways, that's it.
Cheers.